Yo Joe Fanstream just finished over on Hasbro Pulse, and this is your live reaction stream. What's this music? Might be a little bit too energetic. Let me know if it gets annoying after a while. I can change it to something else. Zazel, how you doing? My computer is getting caught up here. Here we go. Red Foreman, how you doing? Yes, please. We didn't see him today, but we will see him. Announced Torpedo today, and Copperhead, who's got one of the coolest voices. Mark Weber over on What's on Joe Mind does the absolute best Copperhead impression. Let's try that instead. That's a little more chill. So yeah, no blowtorch announcement today, but we did get this guy. It is this gold-plated goof-off Lieutenant Falcon. And am I the only one here that thinks that kind of looks like Carson Metaxas from 3D Joe's? I don't know. Carson's a huge Falcon fan, and I just think that looks more like Carson than it looks like the vintage card art from Lieutenant Falcon. A couple more hellos here. Not asking for much, just a blowtorch, Iron Grenadier. Lowlight classified. Lowlight would be awesome, especially with all the accessories. They did an incredible, was it Pursuit of Cobra or something like that? One of the modern figures with so many accessories. He had a big case that opened up with a sniper rifle you could assemble. Classified Lowlight would be amazing. And yeah, still waiting for the blowtorch. He's one of my favorites too. Hello, Matt. Good to see you. Long overdue that they finally announce a classified Haslab. We need a vehicle. I think it's going to be a Haslab classified USS Flag. Hans, good to see you. Looking forward to chatting in a couple minutes. Hopefully I don't go long here. Hello there. Yeah, I can imagine why you're happy. We'll get to that in a minute. But what do you guys think of the first reveal, Lieutenant Falcon? I think he's fantastic. Got to have that little scarf. He's got this standard thing that all the classified figures have, but he looks fantastic. Great expression on his face. To me, when I think of Falcon, I don't think of the movie. And that's taken a lot of time and effort to kind of erase what they did with him in the movie. I think of Flint, basically, another version of Flint. A guy who fits in a little bit better with Duke and Flint and even Hawk, a more competent leader. Super excited about Copperhead, and Cover Girl was great too. Absolutely top of my list. And Joe, good to see you. Was that a tease for a Haslab Hiss? It's all Hiss tanks and Ostrikers apparently. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Rad Dad. Yep. Hopefully we get some Dreadnoks and Iron Grenadiers too. I'd love them to do like a whole wave of just Dreadnoks and just Iron Grenadiers, because they did announce today we're going to be getting a few more releases per wave. Big tip of the hat to Lenny and Emily today. I mean, they're always great. Today's stream was a lot of fun. They were joking around. It was just nice to see. I mean, they're employees of Hasbro, but they're, to me, clearly fans, and they were just having fun. So that was how it should be. It was just a fun, laid-back stream of people enjoying things that they love. Gunstar, good to see you. Plain, not bad for an individual strength. IDW Falcon all the way. I'm getting this. There you go. That's another vote. Does kind of look like Carson. Hey, William, good to see you. Hoping that that they will release Serpentor and Jinx, maybe Wetsuit. Good energy in the stream today. Let's take a look at one of the other reveals. So that was Falcon. And there's our lineup of presenters today. Got to have a couple repaints. And if you know, knowing is half the battle. I like to go into these streams knowing half of them are going to be repaints, and so I don't really walk away from these disappointed. Repaint of Barbecue, and I guess in honor of Barbecue, I'll drop the R for Gabriel Kelly. And a lot of people called it when they announced the Sergeant Slaughter last time. That means we're getting Slaughter's Marauders, not just Tiger Force. I don't think we had any Tiger Force reveals today. That was quite nice, actually, because I was starting to get a little fatigued of all the Tiger Force. But got our first Slaughter's Marauders, and I think it was Lenny mentioned you could even kind of use that as a troop builder, since he's got the helmet on, kind of Marauders version of a Steel Brigade. And Falcon looks good. Hey, Micah, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Marada's Barbecue. How about even spelling it like that? How do you pronounce Marauder without pronouncing the R? Marada Barbecue. But it should be spelled like that, like all typos, missing R on the packaging. I'm glad we can still have some fun with the folks in Massachusetts. The day is coming, I would imagine, where even that will be very, very sensitive and taboo, and you're not allowed to do a Massachusetts accent. But until then, that barbecue will look fantastic. And we're getting a Crimson Guard bat repaint. And he's going to have this little number. Lenny, I think it was Lenny that mentioned they're made to order. So they're Crimson Twins order. And they'll all have that number on the chest there. Was Slaughter's Marauders Beachhead? I don't think Beachhead was a Marauder. I'm remembering Spirit, Low Light, kind of drawing a blank. I didn't really get into that line. Falcon does look good, but the pelvis looks different. And that's our Crimson Guard bat. Kind of makes sense. The twins are loaded, so they would drop some dough on some bats. Here's the man. It is the Outback in proper colors. So we've seen him in Tiger Force, and now we're getting him in the original 87, I believe, color scheme. I mean, that's so Chuck Norris. That's so Chuck Norris. It's awesome. That's Braddock missing in action. Mutt may have been. I think he was. Yeah. Mutt was Footloose. Oh, I'm totally drawing a blank on that. Hiccups is epic. Marauders Barbecue and Crimson Bat seem like weird figures to make mainline. Surprised they weren't just exclusives. Yeah, that keeps happening. Just interesting repaint choices, and I guess that's happened in the past where some things were Target exclusives that should have been widely available, and other things are widely available and they're more obscure. So I don't know why that is. I wonder how many are going to cancel Tiger Force Outpack now. Waiting on Night Force. Some of those paint apps better than the original. So Outback looks fantastic. Everything is removable on him. And a little knife on the boot there. Pistol on the side. That looks like it can hold a flashlight. Face sculpt is fantastic. It's just basically the 87 figure increased in size. Great job on him. That guy's happy. They're happy too. Cover Girl is going to make a lot of Joe fans happy. Looks fantastic. One detail I especially like is the rolled up sleeves on the jacket. She's ready to take care of business. Original figure does not have sleeves rolled up, but that's something I'm perfectly cool with. I think that was a good choice to tweak it a little bit. You know, the character Cover Girl she's a supermodel, but she kicks butt. She drives a tank. I don't think I've ever seen a character that was a supermodel / tank driver. So something that you can do to kind of make her look less supermodel-y and more tough. I mean, leather jacket is an absolute necessity for a tank driver. And it's very like World War II brown leather jacket look, even with a furry collar, kind of like what Hawk has. gloves. Just great work here. Cool seeing the brown hairstyle like the original figure. Other version of her is long blonde hair, which I think this works better for the character. Make her look less modelly. Cover Girl looks awesome. MVP of the show. Would be cool for a Tomahawk Chopper and a Sky Striker in Classified. Those would be huge. But Tomahawk would be cool for just holding all your Classified figures. It'd be kind of like a vehicle / carrying case. Cover Girl, my queen, allow me to exchange these finances to purchase thine plastic likeness. It would be my honor. I read that in my head in your voice. Someone fire Emily. That's not nice. Gaz, how you doing? Nerdmas Day. Robert, it would be dangerous to make a figure look like a fan if they don't have the likeness rights. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's why when they did one of Gary Goggles all those years ago, which Mark Weber, I mentioned him earlier, he was involved in that. He does not like to take credit for that, but he got the ball rolling on that for sure. And they gave him a mask to not deal with that, even though Gary's family did get something for that. But yeah, that's a great point I hadn't thought about. Unless, I don't know, I got to ask Carson about that next time I'm chatting with him. If he knows anything about that. Cover Girl, yes. Talking about G.I. Joe, are you ready to see Top Gun Maverick? I'm very excited to see it. Talked to a couple of friends who say it's the best movie of the year. Best movie in a long time. I just need to get the time to see it because I got business to take care of, family business, so it's kind of hard to step away for 2.5 hours. They should do a crossover of G.I. Joe and WWE. They did. It's called Sergeant Slaughter. Dan Hutt. Who else do we got here? Scrolling. Uno Momento. Here we go. First shot of, oh man, excuse me. The file card on this figure better say Kurt Hennig, because that's Mr. Perfect right there. That's awesome. The render looked great, but actually like a prototype there. He's got a removable whistle. Sunglasses look fantastic on him. Lenny mentioned that it's a very thin material, much thinner than they've used in the past. Hopefully it's very floppy. This is one case where I'm fine with really floppy material that won't snap and break. Tricky thing to do. It's very cool that they've made the sunglasses removable because they weren't on the original 4-inch figure, 3 3/4. So being able to remove the sunglasses, but at the same time, make sure that they can actually stay on his head, make sure that they don't break. Sarge looks good. This guy asked in the live chat, but do we know why G.I. Joe has all these supply chain issues? Does not seem to affect Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series. I wouldn't know. I don't care about the business end of this stuff. I find the more I educate myself about the business end, the shipping and all that supply chain and whatever, the less I enjoy a thing, like the less kind of magic it has. That was especially true for movies when I just got too interested in the behind the scenes stuff, production and all that. It just was taking my enjoyment away from the actual story. So I don't really look into why that's happening. If it comes out, that's cool. If it doesn't, life goes on. Slaughter looks amazing. Hopefully we can get one, even if we're not going to San Diego Comic-Con. Hopefully we can all get one. Hope they make enough for everyone. I really, really hope that's a general release and not just a convention exclusive. That's going to be one of the best classified figures for a lot of people. Why would you make that limited edition hard to get? I could see them making one version a Comic-Con exclusive. Even that would really, really suck. if they decided the mail away outfit was a Comic-Con exclusive and the Triple T, this guy right here, is the standard release, that still sucks. I'd love both versions to be available, and I don't know, make the Warthog outfit the convention exclusive. I'd still love that one, but it's a case of pick your poison. Which one can you live without? I'm talking about like Sting, MVP, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, and Kane for G.I. Joe. Well, Roddy Piper also. I'd love to see a Roddy Piper Iron Grenadier figure. They did one years ago, and it was a convention exclusive, speaking of, and it's crazy expensive now. So it'd be really cool to see Pipes again as part of Destro's army. Cobra is responsible for the shipping issues. Yes, they are. What do you think will be the next reveal? I don't know. I'm still thinking about all the great reveals today. Look at how good that figure looks. So one of the reveals today, let me just get to this comment from Micah. Hey, do you think they're going to show next week because they hinted at Sergeant Slaughter will have someone to fight? Oh, that's a good point. Could be Serpentor, Sarge's arch nemesis, or another Nemesis Enforcer. I think we better see Serpentor before Nemesis Enforcer, though. So during the reveal stream last time, Fan First Tuesday or whatever it was, they mentioned a little surprise. And there was a lot of speculation about what that surprise was going to be. There's the sunglasses I was talking about. The number will not be there in the final version of the figure, but that sculpt is incredible. They showed him from the side, showing off the chin. Even the hands are fantastic. They showed him from the side to show off his big chin. And I just thought, that's a 6th scale chin on a 12th scale figure. They got it perfect. The little surprise bonus thing is a tiny Sergeant Slaughter figure. See if there it is. Teeny tiny Sergeant Slaughter figure. So yeah, no one called that one. Wanted to get into classified so bad. Go on multiple hunts for MOTU. Never see Joe's. Seems I'd just be setting myself up for stress to start classified. And that's a good reason not to. If your hobby doesn't make you happy, it's not a hobby. It's a burden. Toy Bounty Hunter, how you doing? They said in the chat several times it is not, so that's good. I didn't think it was. Thanks for the confirmation, though. Saw Top Gun Maverick. What'd you think of it? Excited for Eels and Copperhead. Wasn't it Torpedo? Or did I hear that wrong? I thought it was Torpedo and Copperhead. Maybe it was Eels. Paulo, how you doing? Not a fan, I guess. And talking about Top Gun there, I'm looking forward to seeing Val Kilmer's role in that movie. Oh, Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know if I can get that picture again. Look at the accessories he comes with. I can't find it now, but he has a hole in his back for a backpack, and you can plug the entire G.I. Joe franchise in there because he's just such a monster. He's such a beast. He just kind of reinvigorates the whole franchise, kind of like he did in '86 for me. He's just a larger-than-life character. Oh, thanks, Micah. It's Torpedo. Heavy water, here I come. Hopefully, it comes with a jug of heavy water. And what else we got here? Another Snake Eyes version with repainted timber. This is cool. This little scarf on him, removable clip on the gun. The pants are dark green, going for a little more of a military look, commando look to him. I've got enough Snake Eyes, so I don't really. The figure I don't have to add it to my collection, but what I really like is the white timber. Because for G.I. Joe, I generally prefer the toy coloration over the cartoon coloration. The timber on the Alpha Commando set is amazing. It was my favorite classified figure of last year. This looking this nice doesn't take away from that. I still like that figure. I really like that. So I'm thinking if I do down the road find this at a GameStop on sale or something like that, that would be the timber that I would use. And then the gray timber, I just stick that with my like McFarlane Sniper Wolf figure or something like that. I like Torpedo, but I would also like to see Wetsuit. I think it's kind of cool that they're doing Torpedo before Wetsuit, though, and Gung Ho before Leatherneck, because that's how it was in the old days. Aww, that is so adorable. Any dog lover, that just tugs at your heartstrings right there. That little paw. They leave a little paw print on your heart. Looks good. Just because I don't want something doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. It looks good. It's a good looking figure. Oh, that timber looks fantastic. That's a snow dog right there. Big old white wolf. Great posing job there too. I'm gonna try to pause here on a toy instead of on these folks. O-rings still coming at you. So cartoon decos, and this looks pretty cool. The white stripe like he had on the cartoon. Just something about Duke. I've always preferred the toy coloration of Duke over the cartoon coloration. I just don't dig the cartoon coloration of Duke, whether it's honestly this figure or they did it in the retro line. The 25th anniversary line had one like that. Comic Pack did one like that. It's mustard yellow on green instead of OD, olive drab green with tan. I don't know. Duke is military. He's a first sergeant, and I prefer him looking more military than comic, bright color type of superhero look. Those would be awesome. Blowtorch and sci-fi. I hope he's the brightest neon green they can find. Feels come. I hope that Hasbro will not limit the purchases for the eels. Yeah, that's an interesting thing about the army builders. It's cool that the Toys R Us is here. They have signs up saying limit of, I think, 2 characters per customer. So no one's allowed to come in, fill up a shopping cart, and just clean out a whole shelf of G.I. Joe figures. It's a nice technique, method of allowing everyone to get a chance, but at the same time, it makes army building impossible unless you come back the next day, which I guess that's the way it should be. At least give people a day to get a chance at getting a figure. They should make Snow Job and the rest of the snow troops. You know, now that you mention it, Snow Job wouldn't be too bad. Yo, Snow. I'm sure folks who have been watching my videos for a while know how excited I would be for a Snow Job. I might even just... Nah, who am I kidding? I was going to say I might even pre-order that, but I don't do the pre-order thing. Still working on 25th anniversary figures, collecting from each cartoon movie. James, how you doing? Step out on classified, but I'm going in on the new O-ring and have the Super 7 Joes on pre-order. And even if you are done, that doesn't mean you can't make exceptions, you know? Grab a Slaughter and just say, there. It's not an all or nothing thing. Or it doesn't have to be. Joe Self, agree with you 100% on Duke. Definitely prefer the 84 action figure colors. Even the later Duke with the desert motif. I'm talking about the one without the red, bright red on him. That was a really nice Duke. Forget what year that was, but it was late in the line with the helmet that wasn't removable. Totally worthy new version of Duke. Is the retro line still going? I don't think so. Haven't seen anything in months. No figures, no... Last thing I saw was that grunt. Unpopular opinion, the first classified release of Duke was a wonderful figure that suffered from a lot of unwarranted ire. You know, that Duke, I mean, when I looked at it, I was like, that could have been closer to the 84 Duke, 83 mail away Duke. But when I saw him decked out in the Gridiron Studios Duke upgrade kit, that's what's missing from that figure. He's underdressed. Once you get that Gridiron Studios set on him with the binocs and the helmet and the gun, that does wonders for that figure. I use Big Bad Toy Store for army building. No limits. Nice. Cheap shipping there too. Curtis, Renegade. I prefer officials. I'll wait. Val Kilmer is still suffering from throat cancer. Yep, I know. I've been following him for quite some time, and I know Tom Cruise pushed to let him have a role in the movie, and from what I hear, he did fantastic, even though he couldn't speak. That's just how good an actor Val Kilmer is. Acting is not just speaking, it's facial, it's eyes. And also, speaking of Val Kilmer, I don't know if it's still on Amazon, but there's a documentary. There was a documentary on Amazon just called Val, I think. It's beautiful. It's Val has been doing the selfie thing, documenting his life way before anyone else was. He had a old school video camera on the set of his movies, and he was just getting home movies. And they've done an incredible documentary on his life. And he can't speak, but his son narrates and reads his writings, and his son sounds exactly like Val. So it's I thought it was Val actually narrating it, you know, from like he had recorded it already years ago, but it's a really, really awesome documentary. Back to G.I. Joe. And now back to G.I. Joe. Hasbro missing opportunity by not making female Cobra troops. They did some in the anniversary line, and it was pretty cool to see. I'm sure they'll get to it. Dusty got reveals, did it. And so if they should do Dusty Sandstorm. Oh, Sandstorm would be cool, yeah. I think the retro line is done. They might have just morphed it into this O-ring thing. There's another look at these figures. This reminds me of Robot Chicken. That giant, I know the original Duke is smiling. He has a smile, but this painted white smile just makes him look like a Robot Chicken skit. Look at that. I don't know. What do you think? Love the mini Sarge. I'm in on that Sarge figure for that alone. You could stick that Sarge with your G1 Transformers too. I think that's just about the right scale. You can have your Sarge Body Slam Megatron. I can't tell where this line is headed, modern, Sunbow, or retro. Why not everything? Variety is the spice of life, I guess, is their approach to it. That's how it is with everything, though. You go into a toy aisle these days, and there's 3 different scales and 3 different iterations of everything now. It's pretty overwhelming, because back in the old days, you could see a whole aisle of toys, but it was all the same scale, the same line. It was all uniform, and you can still see a whole aisle of toys these days, but it's all like different age groups and different cannons and different price points. This timber version looks better than the original, in my opinion, more detailed. You know, that's a lesson. It keeps happening, and hopefully people will clue in. Don't rush, because there might be a new repaint, a different deco, a different version. And instead of having to sell what you bought or cancel a pre-order, you can just wait and then decide afterwards, like the Outback, which version do you want, Tiger Force or or the new one. Most excited for Super 7 Sunbow. Can't wait for those. Those look great. Their Flint looks awesome. Lady J looks great. Their Duke, same deal as this one. Just that those colors. Give me some OD green on Duke. And not mustard. But that's just me. Duke comes with a bazooka. I guess that's they're going by the intro of the G.I. Joe movie. Look at the carded figures. Love that original Duke card art. So there you go. You can save some money if you want an original carded Duke. It's not, you know, an original looking figure, but the card art looks like it's the exact same, the Hector Garrido artwork that the original one had. Decked out my classified Duke with Gridiron props as well. Val is still on Amazon. Awesome. Welcome to everyone coming in on the live chat, by the way. Thanks for joining during your lunch. It does remind me of Robot Chicken now that you mention it. Sorry. Some things you can't unsee once you see them. People do that to me all the time. So it's about time I give one back. And Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. It's Bumblebee. What do you guys think of this? It's an Ostriker that transforms into Bumblebee. Calling it now, that blue Ninja 2-pack they revealed, that female Ninja recolor, and a little finagling and Jinx. That's a good idea. Just like the old days. Mix and match and make your own figures. Exactly what I just said about CoverGirl. I agree, Hans. That will happen. Jay Lee, how you doing? I'm out on O-Ring, but should have been Beachcomber. That's the first thing I thought too. And I get why it's Bumblebee. Because Bumblebee is bankable. He's almost as bankable as the name Optimus Prime. I just gotta remind myself that that's not for me. That's for someone else. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see Transformers transforming into G.I. Joe vehicles, but that should have been Beachcomber. The problem with that, then, the big problem is Beachcomber is peaceful. He's a peace lover, a pacifist. There's another vote for Beachcomber. Beachcomber turning into a military dune buggy with a big gun on it in OD green seems just as wrong, or not, you know, just as not fitting, because Beachcomber is, you know, baby blue, cool, soothing, pacifist. So would it actually, when I think about it a little more, would it have been more appropriate having Beachcomber be an Ostriker? I don't know. Green Beachcomber doesn't really work either. I almost wonder, like, Brawn. I know Brawn wasn't a dune buggy, but Brawn or Hound. Hound is, you know, should be the vamp, but I don't know. Maybe Brawn. The big gun seems a lot more appropriate with Brawn. Gridiron Props is an excellent resource for 1/12 scale and 1/18 completists, run by great people too. Hans Chow says, I don't think I can get behind a green Bumblebee, but the robot mode does look better than Megatron because it looks more integrated rather than a robot with vehicle parts slapped on. I think they're just going to go with the big names for the crossover figures. They don't want to gamble. They don't want to do Hound as an Ostriker. Like, it needs to be Bumblebee, Prime, maybe Jazz, the big names. Basically the names that they picked for the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. Ironhide. What about Footloose with Beachcomber instead of Duke? That would be a great combination. Those two would get nothing done. But yeah, they go really well together. It looks just like an Ostriker. That's what's really surprising about this. just like the Megatron his tank. This looks just like an Ostriker. If I didn't know this was a crossover thing, I would have thought it was an Ostriker, and it's like, well, what's that all about? The yellow thing, that's weird. It's like a storage unit or something, but it's functional. You could stick a Joe in there. It's pretty impressive that it's an actual 1/18th scale functional vehicle in addition to being a transformer. Haslab Ostriker. That's going to be my guess based on this Ostriker right here, or they put the Ostriker on the lunchbox for some reason. I'm going to guess Ostriker or his tank. I think they're going for synergy, stuff that has recently come out and people are familiar with, and I think that's what we'll see. I want a Vamp. That's my dream, my wish, or a Triple T for that Sarge. I never thought I'd want a Triple T, but now that we're getting that Triple T Sarge, it seems appropriate. Nice looking shot of Stalker up on Bumblebee. Oh boy. Here come the comments. I don't have a Bumblebee in my collection. I'll love having this next to my regular Ostriker. Cool. Bike he was in World War II story would have been cool. Read that one already. Kyle King. Had to make my own custom CoverGirl figure from Marauder Gunrunners for my collection because there isn't a really good one out there. I did that for 1/18th scale, actually. I've got the CoverGirl Club exclusive, but I didn't open it because when I got it, wasn't that expensive. And then by the time I decided to open it, I saw what it was worth, and I thought, I can't open it now. It's too expensive. So I just used Marauder Gunrunners and created a CoverGirl 1/18th scale, and it looks fantastic. It's short, reddish hair, brownish hair. I just put one of their brown vests on her. I don't really mind that it's not a full jacket, but yeah, you can create your own custom figures from Marauder if you can't find them or if they don't exist. Optimus Prime Havoc. That'd be a good one. Rolling Thunder might be good, although Prime with nukes doesn't seem appropriate either. That seems to be a problem with most of the Autobots as G.I. Joe vehicles. They're peaceful. They use it for disguise, not for attack. So Prime, I'm not sure. How you doing, Cornelius? Any idea on when Shipwreck, Rock and Roll, and Torpedo will be available for pre-order? I don't know. Soon, probably. Really waiting for Sniper Low Light. Yeah, I think that one's going to be awesome. Prime works as Rolling Thunder. Now Ironhide would work as a Havoc. That's a good one too, yeah. Or Trailbreaker. Prime. Oh, I got one for Prime. How about, what was it called? The Rock? The ROCC? Maybe? That's kind of like a long truck-like thing. Or Mean Dog. Prime as a Mean Dog. Something that hauls a trailer. Even Thunderclap. Kind of trailer motif. Prime as a Thunderclap. Bumblebee as the Joe. Is so cool and awesome. That works as a functional vehicle as well as a figure. This would work wonders with the Transformers figures. There's a Transformer Earth Wars mobile game that has Hound Vamp, and that was also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive a few years ago. They recolored a Vamp as Hound, so that's just the most fitting Transformer, like Hound as something military. I'm not sure why we haven't seen it already. Probably will soon. Did you get the original G.I. Joe movie that is a special edition on Amazon? That movie is on DVD as a printout of the... I've got a Blu-ray of it. Looks fantastic. I don't watch it much, though. Big fan of the writer of that movie, Buzz Dixon, but the movie itself, it has its moments, I'll say. And then it has some other moments that I'm not that big a fan of. Loved creating custom figures for Marauders till they stopped shipping to Europe. That sucks. We can human partners be packed with Transformers toys if the company sees the potential for this concept of human figures with transforming vehicles. I didn't even mention, like, this thing comes with Stalker, an O-ring Stalker. Good deal. Great looking figure. One of my favorite original Joes. Look at how good that looks, man. Even if you don't care much for Bumblebee being an Ostriker, that looks fantastic. Just as an Ostriker. I guess you could always swap the head too. Do a little bit of a paint app. Who's stopping you if you wanted to do some customizing? You could find a Hound head, maybe an old Vinyltech or Alternators Hound head. Swap it out, paint the yellow parts green. Would make for a cool custom there. Let's see. Mean Dog. That gun would be huge, yeah. Broadside, flag, crossover. That's the ultimate crossover right there. There's no way they would gamble on that, though. Broadside is not a very bankable character for Hasbro. So it would probably be Bumblebee USS Flag before it was Broadside Flag. I mean, they've already shown they were going to go with the more bankable, recognizable character than the more appropriate character. And what else was there? There's a packaging of the crossover. It's pretty cool to see the vintage explosion, Hector Greedo explosion burst alongside the old G1 grid art with the yellow light in behind. Sea Spray would be the whale. Sea Spray was a little guy, though. I'm thinking this will never happen because Sea Spray is not a popular enough character and the Barracuda is not a popular enough vehicle. But Sea Spray as a Barracuda, G.I. Joe Barracuda, I think would be great. And the only reason I even care about a Barracuda is because of Buzz Dixon. He wrote a story years ago, The Most Dangerous Man in the World, which was a follow-up to season 3 of G.I. Joe. So instead of G.I. Joe the movie, he wrote this story that would have followed up instead of the Cobra Law story. And there's a little scene with a Barracuda in that story, and it's pretty funny. Blowtorch. Oh, that's a good one. Or Barbecue. Barbecue with Infano. Jay Lee and Tom Scioli's respective awesome works on Transformers versus G.I. Joe has me all in on these mashups. Maybe ID the Bumble Strike and the Tiger Force paint style. Yeah. Sure is a lot of coverage on that crossover. And was that it? I think that might have been it. Showed off some artwork too. That was it, I believe. So what was the highlight? Let's hear what your favorite part of all the reveals was today. I got to go with Falcon and Sarge. Seeing Sarge actually in production or like a prototype version of him. He looks absolutely perfect. Falcon, I'm so glad we're getting him. He's just one of the coolest figures ever made, and it's really a shame that he's kind of, I'll say, tainted for a lot of Joe fans by his characterization in the movie. Skylinks as a Defiant. How it would work? Did a live stream a while back about that, Dream crossovers. You think that scalpers will try to do the pre-orders on eBay or Amazon before the pre-orders go up on Hasbro Pulse? I don't know. Bulletproof with Barricade would be hilarious. For Cops fans there. What about the Haslab Tease? Who knows? It's yeah, I'm very interested to see what that is, but I don't think it's going to be as big and mind-blowing as some people are hoping. I think it'll be something a little more, you know, I don't think it'll be the flag yet, or I think we're lucky if we get a Sky Striker, but it'll probably be something more like Vamp or Hiss Tank. Well, not Vamp, Striker. Slaughter in hand, Cover Girl, Render, Copperhead announcement, highlights for me. Good stuff today. Maybe the lack of Tiger Force today is another reason why we enjoyed this so much. Because, hey, if you love Tiger Force, that's cool. But there's people out there who don't love Tiger Force. And there's been a lot of Tiger Force in all of these live streams. So it's nice to take a break from Tiger Force. We still got Marauders, which is another repaint. But yeah, I appreciated the lack of Tiger Force today. Can't pick one, want them all. Falcon, Slaughter, Cover Girl, Marauders, Barbecue, Original Outback. Yeesh, my wallet is looking at me angrily. Broadside as the flag. You're going to have to just basically get some of those repro labels or toy hacks to do custom broadside stickers for your flag. I think that's the only way we'll ever see broadside as a flag. No, a smaller broadside. I'm talking like a Voyager class broadside that transforms into a flag. That's more plausible. Something that isn't going to sit on a shelf in a store collecting dust and it's like 10 pounds or 20 pounds. I'm calling it next week Bazooka repaint. And same here, James is in a F-14 Tomcat squadron called VF-24 Fighting Renegades, based on a NAS Miramir AK Top Gun when I was in the Navy. Salute to you, sir. I think that's about it. Going through these again. Yeah, if you guys want to share any more thoughts on what your favorite part of the fan stream was today. I also just appreciated that Emily and Lenny just seemed like fans talking about stuff that's fun rather than following a script and trying to hit bullet points and, you know, corporate lingo and stuff. It was just very chill. Hats removable on the Sarge. It's a tough thing trying to decide how much hair to give the Sarge, because he's got that full head of hair in the cartoon. And, you know, in wrestling, his gaze was so deadly that his hairline was retreating from his gaze. I think this is perfect. That is a great, like, it's not full, thick, giant hair. And it's also not bald, like some of the Mattel figures are just really badly thinning. They went overboard. Yeah, so I think they picked a great hairstyle there for the Sarge. And also the hat'll fit perfectly on it, going with that particular hairstyle. Oh, the hand is great. That's right off of the Mail Away artwork with the finger pointing. Little teeny tiny Sarge. Yeah, great job on him. That almost looks like a middle finger there. It's not something the Sarge would ever be caught doing. Still waiting to see when we get Tunnel Rat. Tunnel Rat is a big one, and sci-fi. These I know are going to be way, way off, you know, long way from getting them. But guys like Bullhorn would be so cool, or Salvo, some of the later figures that weren't on the Sunbow cartoon, but their accessories and their figure design were so cool. I'd love to see 1/12 scale versions of them. Need to find a Boston Red Sox decal for Cutter. Yeah, that'd be cool. Any ideas? I wonder if Marauder is going to be doing decals for that stuff. That Sarge hand can do the Cobra clutch. That's a good point. I don't know if he's going to have enough articulation in his shoulders, like range, but yeah, that'd be cool. Beautiful artwork there. Whew. Killing it. Toy artistry. Pork chop sandwiches. When they do blowtorch it, he better come with pork chop sandwiches. Maybe some people won't get it, but the people who do get it, and they better smell like pork chop sandwiches. Like when you open up the packaging, fans should go, God, that smelled good. Captain Gridiron. That's another one of my favorites from the later figures. I didn't get many Joes after the Sunbow cartoon ended, but I grabbed Gridiron because I just loved all the accessories. It's crazy how much stuff he came with. And I wanted a fridge, but I never did get the mail-away fridge, so Gridiron was kind of a good consolation. Another football dude. I just wonder if the Copperhead will be version 1 or a different one. I don't want to sound, pessimistic, but I'd almost guarantee it's going to be a repaint before we see the original paint job. Like we'll see Python Patrol before we see the original one. Love this box art. You never know. Might be a coin flip, but all right, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Been going for almost an hour. Appreciate hearing all your thoughts on the G.I. Joe fan stream. It is Yo Joe June, so more announcements on the way. And I got a couple of G.I. Joe related videos coming on the channel soon too. So thank you very much for hanging out during your either lunch or your afternoon or your evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I hope you have a great rest of the day and rest of the week. And until next time, Yo Joe!